Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on what time zone you're in or what time you're watching this video. Today we are back with Xersize and Madeleine, who I heard because Vintage actually released a remix that was super cool and had Ren and Xersize on the same track. And honestly, this track was fire, and we gotta check it out. So without further ado, love you all. Let's jump right in, shall we? Let's go. That's cool. Yeah. Already start with someone being kind of trapped.
You talk about issues? I guess I got a few. You really wanna listen? Okay, give me a minute or two. You know about anxiety? Cause I sure do. Or should we start with abandonment? That's a good one too. You're getting close to someone, finally start to open up, but you're scared every day, and all you really want to do is shut the doors you open to them. Get away before they hurt you. If you're already alone, then there's nobody to desert you. Now logically you know that this person isn't the last one, and you know that what you're feeling is just trauma from a past love, but you can't shake the feeling that they will do you the same, and you'll have to live through the losses over again. So at the first sign of struggle, fight or flight just starts to kick in. It hits you in your chest, feels like your heart just really caves in.
Oh, that's a dope bar.
To pump, the sweat's already dripping. You feel it in the pit of your stomach. The feeling is so sickening. How can you have a relationship when you can trust another being? How can you start a family with somebody that ain't seeing the fact that they will leave you when they see the side of you? If you don't flee first, that isn't, then that is on you.
Bro, that's deep. That the bar about like when it starts to kick in and your chest caves in, and it's like that's what it is, right? It's that feeling of actually like anxiety within the feeling of abandonment that we're seeing here, and it's like you begin to feel like no matter who you find, they're always going to be gone, and then that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because as you start to kind of form a relationship with this person, inevitably in the back of your mind you're thinking, well, how long till they're gone, and that's not a way that a relationship can actually flourish, and inevitably it starts to die, because you can't put your whole faith and all of yourself into this love, into this person, and when they leave you, it almost becomes like yeah, see, I knew that was going to happen, even though maybe subconsciously you were doing things all the way along the line that kind of led up to it too. And what's crazy is that he understands that because he's saying these things, so he knows that it's happening, but it's so ingrained into his patterns by this point because of something traumatic that happened at maybe a long time ago, where someone did truly abandon you in your worst time, and that leads you to this place where it's like everyone going forward is going to be the same, and then it becomes that way because almost like you make it that way, or because you run into some bad people, but no matter what, the trauma is still there. And it breathes down your neck as you kind of meet person and person and person. All you can think is how long till they're gone. And he Xersize did that so well. Like he really brought out the feeling of that. It's all those thoughts that happen and all those emotions that start to bubble up, and that fear that like how long till they're gone. Damn, man.
If you don't flee first, that isn't, then that is on you.
The scars I bear in my mind, makes it hard to survive.
Wait, what was the first one?
This actually has like an Evanescence meets like Eminem meets like NF vibe to it. Like, it's so clean. I really like it, and it's very introspective. Even the song itself is almost like a memory haunted is the vibe that it gives off, and that's exactly what this is, because it's scars in our mind and moments in our past that have led up to this pain, and we're kind of giving it all here. That's dope.
Wait, what was the first one? Oh yeah, I remember now. Anxiety, your closest friend, has been with you forever now. You grew up with one another, you two even share a room now. And guess who is the biggest spoon? It sure as shit ain't you now. See, you can have a perfect day where everything is going great, and then just like that, everything just starts to disintegrate for no apparent reason. But the heart beats in your ears, and the room starts to spin, and all you're hearing is your fears. They're laughing at you loudly, and look, here come the tears. You're gonna have a blackout again, maybe down a couple beers, but you know that it don't help, right? Drinking makes it worse, even though you feel like it's impossible that it can hurt. It can get any worse, right? Well, I'll save the best one for last. I think it's coming up the driveway. He's always going fast, but yeah, he's pulling up now. Let me get the door and show you the only thing that we're both fear even more.
Oh.
The scars I bear in my mind. Makes it hard to survive.
Dude, I love the imagery that we got there too, of like the fact that you grew up together. It's like you've been friends your whole life. Like you've been like, you know, that friend that you meet in like elementary school that somehow you guys never tear away from each other. You're always like, you're friends into like till the day that you die. And that's the vibe that you get, but it's anxiety that's actually that friend. And it kind of goes further and makes it like a relationship, because it ends up being the big spoon to your little spoon, and it literally feels like it's surrounding you, like it's encroaching around you. And that's such a crazy imagery to use for that, because that is what anxiety feels like. It makes you tense up, and it feels like you're surrounded but it's by your thoughts. And that's perfectly kind of exemplified here. And I really like how Madeleiene is singing this. It's like it's got a bit of detachment to it, almost like acceptance of the situation, but still this hurt and this pain that you hear in the way that she's singing this. And it perfectly complements kind of the aggressive anxiety that Xersize is giving us. And I love that they kind of go hand in hand, because it's like, this is the feeling of having these traumas in your past and the effects that they have in the future, and you know that they're there, but for whatever reason it is, you can't shake them. They just seem to be core to who you are, and that's all kind of put together in this one track. That's fire. Wow.
To survive.
Let me introduce you. This here is depression. He's just a result of every feeling you're suppressing. Everything you lock inside, this guy makes sure it stays in, so he can feed from everything. Every feeling that you bring, he sits there and takes his time. And when it's right, he stops by. And when it's here, you'll know it. There's not a second then that goes by without his intervention. He'll bleed you till you feel dry. Sometimes even literally, you know the scars you try to hide. It may have been your hand that held a razor or the sharp knife, but he's the one laughing from the back in the shadows behind. He's the ugly face you see in the mirror every time, and he's the voice inside your mind that feeds you all the lies, that makes you feel so worthless. All the nights where you just cried, and every Sunday morning where you wish that you just died peacefully in your sleep. He's the one behind it all. He's not your best friend. He's the reason that you always fall. I know it keeps a tight grip, but trust me, that's not love. He's the culmination of everything I said above. Abandonment, anxiety, doubt, and so much more. He is everything combined to beat you down onto the floor. Look at you, laying there, sobbing uncontrollably, when all these dark feelings are robbing you emotionally. I'm sorry that you have to go through this all on your own, but then again, with these guys with you, you'll never be alone.
Bro, the way to kind of, I love the personification of these emotions, and like it really helps kind of drive home the feeling that there is, because like even when he's talking about depression there, it feels like he's talking about like almost like, you know, like a mob boss who comes every now and then to collect money. Kind of feels like that. And that's kind of the feeling, because as depression seeps in, it's like you feel like you're cornered, and you feel like there's nothing you can do but kind of acquiesce to what he wants. And that's what happens here when depression takes over and kind of seeps into your very bones. And it's very vulnerable of him to say, like, the scars that are on yourself, your body, that you're afflicted by you, but truly it's not you that guided them there. It's that depression, those feelings of of doubt and lack of self-worth, and to kind of conceptualize that is brilliant, because it's true. It's like you wouldn't do those things to yourself if this depression hadn't taken root, and how much it hurts, how much it pushes you to do things that you would never want to do. And that's the thing that people who like experience depression is like, you can't explain the feeling of what led you, like you don't even necessarily sometimes know what led you there. All you can do is kind of feel it, and so trying to explain it to other people becomes difficult, and this song kind of does a great job of doing that, really exemplifying what it feels like, of having this person kind of show up in your brightest moments, even in when the sun is rising, to be in the back of your head to make you feel like less. And that sucks, and that's a feeling no one should have to deal with, but Xersize really does a good job of kind of conveying those feelings here. Damn, man, this is fire. Wow.
And with these guys with you, you'll never be alone.
The scars I bear makes it hard. Makes it hard to survive.
There he comes a knocking. Dude, that was solid. I even love like the imagery of him being in like an abandoned warehouse where you expect there to be a lot of things happening, but it's just the TVs which seem to have the personifications of his scars. And like this is what it feels like. It's like inside your mind, all you are is trapped with these feelings in times when it's at its worst, when it's at its peak, right? And what's interesting is anytime that Madeleine is there, singing this song with him, they're actually usually outside, and that almost in my mind exemplifies that like it's hard to deal with these things on your own, but it's easier, or you feel more free when you're dealing it with other people. And I think that's a great way to kind of show that through the video. But like this imagery of him kind of being trapped inside this place with depression literally knocking at his feet, saying, hey, you're not done with me yet. Like, that's so crazy. And he just puts up the hood and kind of goes back in the chair, almost like he's letting it seep in again, right? And it's not like he's letting it do that. It does that. It does that. And that's the madness that comes with depression, is that like sometimes you can try your damnedest and you just feel like you still haven't gotten anywhere. And that makes it so much worse. It makes you feel like you are literally trapped. But I genuinely think that with things like this, with mental illness, trauma, depression, all these things, we get by better together. And I think that was even shown here. And truly, this is why, like, getting support from the people that you love, or reaching out to the people that you love, or just even if it's not the people that you love, reaching out for professional help, or reaching out to, like, you know, like some people reach out to forums and stuff like that. And like, it can be so beneficial to have people in your corner. It is so much harder to deal with things like this when it's just you, right? Because then it really does feel like you against the world, but it doesn't have to feel that way. And when we help support each other and move through these thoughts and feelings together, we can get so much further. Man, this was solid. This was so solid. This really did have like an NF Eminem Evanescence feel to it. It was super cool. Very cool. Awesome. I hope that you enjoyed. Hope that your week's been your day, your month's been your week, your year's been better than your month. Love you all. Never hesitate to reach out, and I'll see you in the next one.